Beep, beep. What is up, guys? My name is Samworld, and welcome to another episode of the Techno track start to finish. Now, last episode we finished arranging the track out, and today we're going to be getting into getting everything to sound good in terms of like the leveling of stuff, the mixing of stuff, just getting a good balance. Now, as you guys know, for the arrangement, I used the reference track where I took arrangement cues from the Teenage Mutants Real track. Now, what I mean by this, guys, is that I would hear their track compared to mine. I would hear when they would switch certain things up, what they would use, and blah, blah, blah. And then I would creatively decide whether I wanted to do something similar to them or if I wanted to do something else. The key thing is knowing the transitions that they use. For instance, let's say they bring in an ARP. Well, I could bring in another sound, or I could bring in a stab or something to add to the track. I'm using their cues when they add and take away stuff as using it as my own so that I know when to do the same, keep the track interesting, keep the arrangement good. Okay. The other thing I can use it for is also going to be for how loud they are and their frequency response and how the track sounds like. So I'm not going to be able to play the track because I'll get a copyright strike, but I can play it like this. And we can see the frequency response and how everything looks. Now we can also compare it to ours where I have my own span here and I have my own WLM here, which in essence WLM is, I use it to measure loudness, how loud my track is. Now if we compare, my track is definitely like 2 dB or 2 loves louder. I feel like that 2 loves louder is not really working out in my best interest because the low end doesn't really sound as clean as it should. So what I want to do is I want to follow in their footsteps in essence of getting rid of some, not making it as loud. Okay, the other thing too is you can see the hats that I'm using, they are nice and they are giving me a good response, but a lot of the high-end power of their track is coming from the highs being a little bit higher up, so that could easily be something that we can do with any Q boost. So let's get straight into that, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is just get the track a little bit quieter because right now we're just pushing it too hard to where it clips at certain points like. Okay, I'm not really a huge fan of the way the low end sounds on this because of that. So one of the things that you guys have to keep in mind is the louder you push a track, the more low end you're going to have to sacrifice because the low end is not going to sound as huge anymore. So that's one of the reasons if we want to go with huge low ends that we can't push them that loud. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this maybe limiter here and see if that's going to help at all. I'm going to quiet it down a little bit more. Okay, now let's compare again with theirs. Now, for some reason on mine, you can kind of see that I'm lacking a lot of this frequency here. It could be something in the master maybe, like, or it could just be the drums I have. So in essence, I really need to get something here to cover that because right now, if we compare with theirs, you know, we essentially have somewhat of a similar kind of low end response, but the majority here you can see is going to be more here. Okay, so that's the next thing we're going to be doing here. So let's kind of do that maybe here. Okay, now high. I'm going to give them a bit there. And then what I'm going to do is boost this a little bit more here. That's going to give it a bit more air and it should give us a little bit more. And let's go into maybe here. I'm gonna leave that down maybe because this kind of gives a good amount of air. Okay, and then maybe level down a bit more on the open hat. Okay. Now the other thing I also see is that I was a bit scared when it came to the perk shots being too loud. But I feel like we crippled them too much. And what I mean by this is that they could be way louder in the track. So this one can definitely be up here. Okay, this one as well. We can bring in some of those mid-lows back. And the reason for that is, as you guys know, in one of the previous episodes, we made the bass so that it's not super mid-lowy. So we have all this empty space there, and we can definitely use one of these shots to just fill that up a bit more. So this can definitely take that spot where we had the other bass before. So now we're gonna get okay. The next thing we can kind of do here is there's this effects here, transition. I don't know why it's there. It shouldn't be in the channel here, so we're gonna get it out of there. Okay. Now let's see if we can. Let's just make sure it's not causing huge spikes. Because I think that open hat would be a lot better. It also gives us a little bit more frequency response. So it's starting to look a lot better. The other thing too is the kick doesn't hit as hard as it should, and I feel like that's a simple fix. It's just making the kick a lot louder. So in essence here, we do have leveling of the kick happening here, but I really want that kick to just sound way louder. So let's see if we can look at it. You know, the kick, we lowered it down, but it feels like this isn't needed. So I'm going to bring those highs back in here, just all the way up. There's no need there. So we're going to fix that real fast. I'm also going to see if I can use maybe a transient designer or do something with it to make it sound a little better. But let's see. Okay, so I'm starting to like the way it sounds a little bit more and more. It's just getting it to where I want it to be. And this is where it can get a bit finicky when you're starting to mix your kick, because it does a lot. But essentially what I'm doing here with Transgressor, guys, is Transgressor is a cool plugin. I got sponsored by Bose Digital Labs, so I did get this plugin for free. I do have to say that. But I think it's a great plugin. In essence, what it does is it separates your transient and your sustain. So that way when you look at your kick, you can look at the bottom end of it, and you can also look at the the transient of it to get it to the way you want. So here I'm just using both of these to kind of just get it properly where I want it to be. I'm also going to mono it down just in case for some reason there's a bit of mono stereo information. It looks like around 232 I can boost to just give it a bit more, yeah. Like more hit. I'm not liking the way the highs maybe. Sounds like when we added some back, it kind of fucked it up. So let's see. There's going to be fine. And then let's see what else we can do. Gonna make it a little quiet. Okay, so I'm starting to get the kick more in front. Here I use Neutron. Usually I like to use Neutron where I'm like questioning what I'm doing just to kind of find something that I can kind of like. And you can see Neutron reduced a bit on 236 where I reduced in 278 a bit. But maybe that means I need to reduce a bit more on this guy, just a tiny bit. Maybe I boosted too much, so we're going to do that. Other than that, I'm starting to like the way the kick is starting to sound like a little bit more clean, a little bit more in the front, and that's what I kind of want. So Neutron, you know, it's good. You can use a track assistant on it and all that, and it does give you good results, but always make sure to modify it. If you like certain things about it, keep it. The stuff you don't, make sure you don't keep it. So here I'm going to mono. Okay, so that's going to sound way better than what we had before, which was... So now we have... a little bit more pushing forward on that kick. Okay, now we have our low end here, which, you know, I think it should be fine. I am going to put an Ozone Imager just to see if any sound in here right now is causing any issues with it. So let's see. Let's try an Imager just to see how everything's looking. So let's try that, see how that sounds like. We're going to put it over here, though. Because before we had a bit, you can kind of see. It's going to make it sound a lot cleaner. Oh, there we go. I was wondering where the... Now let's make sure this is in mono. That's the first thing I want to do. So make sure nothing... Okay, next thing I want to do is maybe we went too far with the EQ on that. So let's see if we can maybe... Yeah, there shouldn't be any automation on that. gonna compress it just a tiny bit. Cause it's too, yeah, it's too. Okay. The other thing too is I'm starting to see that since we have this low here, this too might be fighting. So here, this low end, I feel like it just let go too much. It's like they're kind of gonna fight, phase out. So we just gotta fix that. Let's. And what I'm gonna do is, since I'm using that, like it seems to kind of just do some stuff with it here to get rid of it. You can see we have to do something about that. So I'm gonna do is maybe not even have it, make it have low end, because then it's just gonna sound very muddy. And we have to, again, guys, should only be one thing that has all the low end. So we gotta fix that. Let's see. What if we give the low end from this? That's not gonna work. We do need that low end from the kick. Okay, so now I just want to hear the kick and the low. Let's see if we can do something with the bass. Okay, so I'm gonna do a harder cut on this, maybe. Maybe distort it a bit more, saturated, just to get it to sound a little bit more in the front. Try harder. Put this here. Maybe just a bit too much. And the thing is these two. Maybe I could have a bit more of the mid-lows. It doesn't have to be a harsh cut, but not, you know, not as strong. So let's bring this up here. And maybe have that be like so, and then higher. Where it's at its peak. Okay. Let's see if we can maybe try other stuff with it for fun, just to see if it kind of gives it a little bit more of a nice. Okay, let's see how it sounds like over here with everything now. Okay, we're gonna maybe ease up on that a bit, just because I don't want it to overtake. Sounding a lot cleaner for sure. Now we just got to start to figure this all out in terms of like the synth and all that. This shot gets a little lost there. So let's see what we can do with that. So but that low end is sounding so much nicer, yo. Like in that part here, the first thing I remember was like, fuck, like it was just a mess. Now it's sounding so much cleaner. So much cleaner. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. That perk base could be a little shorter too, eh? In all honesty, maybe like the. There we go. Let's see. I think the issue with this one, it's in mono. If there's a way we can make it stereo, I think that would be a lot better. I mean, it has nothing to do with, yeah. So we could probably do that, just voice it up. And then maybe a little louder. But let's see how it sounds like here. Okay. Alright, so here, maybe even louder, dude. It's getting a little lost now that we're doing it like that. Oh, it's the cutoff can go a little. Now the problem with doing this to a sound like this is that fact that the low end is going to be in stereo. So what I have to do now is I have to put a bass mono on it so that everything below a certain frequency is in mono. So I'm going to do it like so, and then maybe even higher. put a little bit more release on that. Okay, and let's louder. Kind of want it to linger more, so maybe we'll add a ping pong to it. There we go. A little quieter. Now it's starting to linger a lot, so let's lower the feedback on that and let dry. Let's get rid of this is another feedback I got that I thought was really good, is to get rid of these crashes or the downlifters. Instead, we're going to use crashes. So that's one thing we're going to change as well. It loses that spark. Maybe it needs to be more like this. It definitely loses a bit of spark. Let's see how it sounds like right now. Maybe one of them in mono. Maybe a bit more resonance. Yeah, it's like starting really high up. So let's move this back. There's something we could do to them. It could be like the plate reverb on here. So let's get rid of that. And let's see, eh? I feel like they need to have a bit of width to them. And right now it doesn't have it. So yeah, like that maybe. And then let's see, well, Valhalla, I don't know if that one's my favorite. Maybe a little bit more decay. Sounding way better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Neutron again, maybe for some tips. Maybe it'll give me some. I don't know. But we're going to see if it does, man. Because right now I'm a bit like, and this is great for that. So we want it up front and we want it high, medium intensity. And let's just... It's hearing the audio. It's It looks like it's boosting highs. Let's see if it's good. Okay, cool. So it did give some good stuff there. First off, I want to see what it is. So I think it's the EQ. So a little bit of air and a bit of a boost on 419. And then it's kind of boosting down on the mid-lows, as you can see. Okay, that's good. But maybe not so much high-end. It makes it sound too plastic. And then the compressor. Exciter does some good stuff. Now the reverb's a bit out of control. So let's use up my... I need that lead to pop out more here. Maybe some ping pong delay here wouldn't hurt. Highs, man. The ping pong delay needs to go away here. We don't need that there. So we just are here. Maybe a little louder here. I'm looking at here to make sure it's not over the top, but we definitely want it to be a little bit loud. Let's get the... I don't know what the hell. It's not playing. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's still doing it, so I don't know. I think it's either one of these. It gets lost for some reason. it gets too loud here. Let's ease up on that. These shots here. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the delay it has, so let's ease up. Okay. It's fine, a little louder. What I'm gonna do maybe here is try this out with this. I'm gonna elongate this a bit more. Okay, this shot, I do like how it sounds like with the high end on it, but I don't know, man. I think it has like a delay on it or something, and it's bothering me a little. Yeah, it's right there. Let's ease up on it if we can. There we go. Okay. Okay, now it's time for the ARP. So the ARP. Let's get rid of the reverb and delay in it. That way it sounds as clean as possible. Let's bring this back in. Let's lower it down. I kind of don't like how the pluck sounds wide. You can kind of feel like it's very wide, like I feel like pluck shouldn't be that wide. That's just me personally. So maybe we can just mono it down. And then I'm gonna give it some reverb, maybe the same one, the Valhalla. And then maybe some echo delay or something to make it sound more interesting. could be louder too. Okay, so here when this comes in is where like I lose that vibe for the stereo one we did over here, because now this should sound mono. And I guess we can automate it down, definitely, which is what I'm gonna do, because it needs to be in mono. So we're gonna have to do that. So I can definitely do this to it. Like we could get the unison down. Man, these are little things you don't do in every track, but you know, for me, I just don't want to open up another serum. Jesus, let's ease up on this here. And then I think we have, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now this impact here isn't as strong as I want it to be. On this EQ, let's bring him back to low end. It's like, down, dude. It's so clean over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to copy this, whatever we did over here that made it sound so. Let's get this stuff like how we had it over here in the... man. It's getting out of control. Here we're gonna lower it down a bit. Not so high up. Here, we bring in the low end here, which is not the right move. It needs to be like more up here. Also, I think the kick lowers in volume, so that's why we're losing a lot of energy. So let's fucking get rid of that, because, you know, that's another issue. The automations, man, are screwing me over, dog. But it's okay. All right, let's hear this. I don't think we need this here. We're gonna move it more, yeah, slightly. Add this ta 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 ta. With the snare fill, I didn't like how that happened, so we're gonna add a thing here, like yeah. I want these to pop out more. So. And maybe like auto pan them or something, because that way it'll give it a bit more, yeah. Faster rate. Maybe like a 1/8. 1/8. Yeah. Fuck yeah. This could be louder too. Maybe let's see. Since it's kind of there already, I don't really have any issues with that pad. Maybe I can see if I can layer it with like a little higher, like another G or something. Unless it's like mono. Nah, it should be good. The claps too, they can now be loud as that. I kind of want to add like a glue compressor on them just to tame them a bit. So this is gonna help in like just a bit here, like fast. There we go. Okay, now I want to add like a white noise sample maybe to cover the highs, because as you guys know, we are missing a bit here of highs. I don't know why, but some we can definitely use for that, and we're going to do that right now. Oh man, this is going to be a long ass episode, man. But next episode, I'm going to start adding more stuff. I want to add more to this to help those transitions out. I just need like a white noise sample, and honestly, Big Man Cashmere Gata's on that. Let's see, just need white noise and we can fine tune it from there. That's perfect actually. So we're just gonna duplicate the shit out of it honestly there. Because all we need is really the top end of it. So, and then, yeah, there we go. And we're just gonna EQ that so that we only get the very top end of it honestly. Like, it's just like this. Let's make. This part here. Reverb the shit out of it though, so we mask those like that. Get rid of the white noise here. cut down the white noise here. Here it drops like that. If it drops with the drums, it'll sound more powerful for sure, but I think it's fine. Like if it doesn't. There's something missing in that we have over here. Okay, guys, so work so far, sounding a lot better for sure. The mix is a lot cleaner. It's getting to where I want it to be at, and the more I put work into this, the more amazing it's starting to sound. This is like a perfect example of if you make something and you're very unsure of it, just keep working on it, guys. The best advice I can give you as a producer is make your ideas and try to make them sound as best as you can. Finish them off and then move on to the next song. Here with this track, there was moments in it that I really didn't like it, but I'm starting to like it more and more now as I start to get everything sounding the way it sounds like in my head. Clean, you know, the bass, you know, this perk bass, I was so unsure of, but now that I kind of got that shit going proper, I love it. Like we got that so good now. Like it's so hard not to like that. It sounds like literally some guy. But I hope this series is helping a lot of you guys out. I hope it shows you guys some mistakes I've fixed in this episode that I did in the previous episodes. On not getting it to sound as clean. You know, a lot of times when you go from the start and make a song, it's not going to sound as clean. That's why you got to take rest, come back to it here and there to fix the errors, to have cleaner ears to do these things. And most importantly, do have a reference track. Without this reference track, I wouldn't have known that I was too loud. I wouldn't have known that I needed more mid-lows, more highs. And in essence, just helped a lot, as you guys can see. Now, usually I use like 2 or 3 arrangement tracks, but for this, I'm only using 1 to keep it very concurrent. But I hope that you guys have been enjoying this series, even though it's very raw. It's not all to the point. You have to watch to get the most out of it, and a lot of them are very long. I hope that they help you in seeing the whole process of creating something that would be released, something that you could release and sounds professional. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the feedback stream. You guys take care and peace out.